Alright, so I wasn't going to do a video like this because I already did a commentary for it. But I figured like there was a few more things to talk about with the Arrow series finale, with the Diggle stuff, and certain other stuff that's kind of on my mind. So with that in mind, let's talk about the Arrow series finale. First, of course, we gotta... There we go. Alright. So, series finale. The biggest question going into this was, how are they going to do a finale without Oliver? The question is, they didn't. But what they did do with Oliver, well, I thought was okay in the fight scenes. You gotta get some fight scenes in there. So, this whole thing, it's about Oliver's funeral. Obviously, you can't have the whole thing be Oliver's funeral because it wouldn't make sense. So, what do? You incorporate these flashbacks showing that Oliver, back in season 1 when he was killing people, to, take names off the list. You show him he's killing people, and Diggle doesn't want him to kill people, which is not how it happened. But in Earth Prime, now that it's a new Earth, it's possible, especially... since, and I didn't notice this at first, until the funeral part, but Tommy Merlyn is still alive. And they showed him at the, they had a bunch of them standing there at the statue there. And, yeah. I didn't notice. It was dark. I couldn't see. And I got a smaller TV in the living room now, so it's kind of hard for me to see. I'm reading at that thing. Looking at that thing now. And working off that for this particular one. But from now on, when I do commentaries, I'm going to be in here. I'm going to be watching this TV here. And I'll have to find a way to hook the Xbox up in here. To do it that way, I guess. For the commentaries, when I do the commentaries, so... just know. So anyway, yeah, Tommy Merlyn's alive. So it makes sense that they had Diggle be the one to tell him, you can't be killing anymore. But the problem with that is, how long in season 1 did Tommy tell him, you can't be killing people, you can't be killing people? And it wasn't until he died that he decides he can kill people. But John Diggle, who he barely knew at the time, says, you can't kill anyone. And all of a sudden, he can't do it. There was a lot of setup for the spinoff. And I have not heard word one about whether or not the spinoff has been greenlit or not. The Superman and Lois spinoff has been greenlit sight unseen. Which has me worried for this, because CW, when it comes to backdoor pilots, they're not exactly... They don't exactly do. Like, they want to do a backdoor pilot for The Flash, and they sort of do. But they made their own kind of pilot for that as well. Like, Supernatural's had 2 backdoor pilots for spinoffs that CW just passed on. This is why I'm worried about this. I want it to succeed. That episode had me hooked. I want to see what happens. But I don't know if it's going to happen. Speaking of which, so you have Sarah coming to pick up Mia in the future to take her to the funeral. The one big thing going in this episode was, because, the promo pictures and stuff showed that she was there. How would it make sense for her to be there if, one, her brother has been kidnapped, and 2, now Dinah, said that she disappeared after the funeral. And she did not say that Mia was there. But, yeah, who knows? But, yeah, it's her dad's funeral. She wants to be there, whatever. Her and Felicity, I think they messed that up. Because they just have, I mean, they show Mia's reaction when she walks in. And then later they show Felicity's reaction later. And then they have a little meet, but it's not really, oh, you were teething. This morning you were teething. Yeah, kind of the same thing that, I don't, it should have been bigger. Them meeting for the first time like that, it should have been bigger. It just should have. And, bringing back all these characters from previous seasons like Quentin and Tommy and people who have died just for the sake of having them for this funeral, for this finale, fine. Do them in flashbacks. But to say that Oliver, like Tommy alone, undoes character development. Yes, they showed us in flashbacks that it was Diggle now that convinced him not to kill. But still, Tommy's death was a big, big thing. It was they kept Robert Queen's death in there. Like, in that first scene, they show that, one of the first scenes, they show that Oliver is able to break free from his restraints and stop his mom from being killed, which is a deleted scene from season 2. So they must have had plans for her to survive, but changed it. I don't know. But, yeah, she survived now. And, like, it's just confusing how some people are still alive, some people aren't. And it's just for the conveniency. Like, Quentin's alive, but Roy still has his metal arm. Couldn't give his arm back. Like, some of the stuff we saw still happened, but other stuff didn't happen. Quentin's still alive. Earth 1 Laurel's not. What's the reason for this? Well, they say that, well, one, it would have undone a lot of Earth 2 Laurel's character development over the past few seasons. It would have undone all that. But, and, they say that, it wasn't necessary for the other Laurel to come back. Fine. The only reason why they didn't do it is because they wanted this Laurel to be in the spinoff. That's it. They don't go into specifics about what stuff that happened, but I feel like a lot of stuff that happened and didn't happen would have changed some things, especially the lineup of Team Arrow. Like, everybody he knew was there, but I feel like some of them shouldn't have been. Like, it's made abundantly clear that everything we've seen the last 8 seasons has happened. Just some things are different, like Quentin being alive, Tommy being alive. I remember the first time I watched the end of season 1 and saw Tommy's death, and Oliver was holding him. He's saying, "Wake up, Tommy. Open your eyes, Tommy. Open your eyes." Tears. It got me in tears. I was like, it got me so much that I had to wait a couple of days before I started season 2 to kind of get going. Because, yeah, I'm glad I did. Because I started watching season 2 and they kind of had that at the beginning. I'm like, I waited a couple of days. But she's like, yeah. You want to... And, like, the only reason I can think that they did that is so that they could have as many people as they could come back for the finale. Which is fine. You know, uh, like I don't have a problem with these stars coming back. The big problem is that now you've retconned some of the stuff. People died. Yeah, people die in a show. It happens, but who knows? So yeah, there's that. Um, Barry and Kara are the only other heroes that came to the funeral. Where's Batwoman? Where's, you know, I know they didn't know him as well, but they were a part of Crisis, you know. We need a star-studded lineup. You get a brief shot of all the heroes standing there, but it's not really. I mean, they can have Barry there, but what about Caitlin, Cisco? The biggest thing about Crisis is that why wasn't Cisco in the later episodes? The biggest answer you can get, you know, the most obvious answer is money. You know, they're not going to pay extra money for an actor from another show to be on there. Not necessary. But Cisco should have been necessary. You have Barry there, fine. But you should have had at least Cisco and Caitlin there as well. I mean, they were the first three to connect, you know, because Cisco and Caitlin showed up first to talk to her. And Barry was around, you know, it was, you know, all that, and then it connected later, but or Barry showed up first, and then Cisco and Caitlin later, and there were the three that had the connection with Team Arrow. So those three should have been there, but Barry was there because he had the most deep connection with them. Other heroes, come on. Superman's not there. Who knows? They don't have an excuse that, you know, Kara showed up, but Clark Kent. I mean, Clark can't. Not Kent. Anyway, it's just money. They can bring back all these dead people, but they can't bring another super, you know. That would have been better. You know, instead of bringing all these dead people in and changing the reality, have them still dead. And then bring in other superheroes to be at the freaking thing. Even you don't have to be in superhero get-ups, you know. You could have had Kate there, Jean, Alex, you know, Kara was there, you know. Who knows? Tommy was married to Laurel in this world before she died. Makes sense. The one thing they didn't address, because when Moira and Thea are standing by Robert Queen's grave, she says, "Your father." She calls Robert here Thea's father. If you know from the way it was, Malcolm Merlyn was Thea's father. Did they change that? Did they mix that around? You know, because even when Emiko shows up, Thea calls her sister, which, no. If we went by the way that the original timeline went, Emiko was not her sister. She's Oliver's sister, but not Thea's sister, because Thea is not Robert Queen's daughter in the original timeline. We don't know here. They don't specify it, which is why, you know, it should have been a legitimate 2-hour finale. I'm sorry. They announced a 2-hour finale event, and it's just a special at the beginning, and then we get a 1-hour finale. I hate it when they do that. 2-hour, like, they, Heroes, they said 3-hour premiere, and the first hour is just a look back at the first 2 seasons, and then it's a 2-hour premiere. I hate it when they do that. We got 2-hour premiere, and the first hour is just a look back and talking, and then we get the actual premiere. It's fucking stupid. But, yeah. Laurel being married to Tommy makes sense. The way they were going, they were going to be together at some point. They were together until he died. You know, so they don't go into specifics. The only one that they show is Moira, because they had the deleted scene. Otherwise, you don't see, and that's laziness. right? They could have filmed something, but they didn't. Laziness or not have enough money, who knows? But they could have filmed something, right? They didn't. You gotta fill that 1 hour, whatever. Like I said, it was 2 hours. They probably could have explained more. We still don't have all the answers of this new Earth Prime, and when it comes to Arrow, we probably won't, unless there are other characters. Unless we get unless that spinoff happens, they can give us answers that way. Sure, but so let's talk about the big thing that happened, because I gotta talk about this. Diggle. Right, so he announced he's moving to Metropolis, and then in the end, they have a montage of where everybody's going and everything. Mia goes back to the future. Dinah's on her bike, which I don't know how that transitions from her driving on her bike to ending up in the future. Maybe she's driving on her bike and she drives into the future. I don't know. Everybody's going separate ways. Then we see Diggle packing up his stuff, get ready to move to Metropolis, and he sends his family off, and then it's nighttime, and he's at this moving truck, and there's something flying towards him, hits the ground, he flies back into the truck, and it cuts to something else. I kind of think it's Dinah driving off, and then it cuts back, and he's walking up, and he picks up something, and he opens it up, and there's a green light. We got the Green Lantern tease. But people on internet, Facebook, and what have you, we'll call them assholes, are being assholes and saying, oh, they never officially confirmed it's a Green Lantern. If we didn't see a ring, it's not Green Lantern. It's probably just Kryptonite. Supergirl's on the same Earth now, so it's probably just Kryptonite. Do you have to be a dick? I mean, seriously? Do you have to be negative? Everyone, since Elseworlds last year, when they had the Earth 90 Flash, 1990s Flash, say, John, where's your ring? People have been waiting for another tease or something. You finally get it, and you're being a dick about it. Shut the fuck up. Alright? To the people out there saying, oh, it's not official because we didn't see a ring. He's not wearing a ring. He's not in the suit. It's not official. It's official. Mark Guggenheim confirmed this in an interview that it's an official tease. Diggle will become a Green Lantern at some point, whether it's in the HBO Max series or hell, he's on The Flash next week. Maybe he'll mention something about that. Huh? It aggravates me. That's one of my biggest pet peeves. People bitching about, they want to get this, they want this, they want this. And once they saw that his stepfather's name was Colonel Stewart, oh, we want this, they get it. They still bitch because they didn't actually get, oh, they got a tease. He's not wearing a suit, he's not wearing a ring. It doesn't count. It's not official. It is official, all right? Mark Guggenheim said it himself. It's official. He's the Green Lantern. Now shut up. I'm not the only one defending this, by the way. There are people on Facebook that are defending it. There are the people who like to troll people on Facebook and just blast them with negative comments. Some people legitimately may legitimately think that, and they're just trolling just to have fun, or they just, they're trolling because they want to be dicks. Who knows? But, yeah, this is going too long anyway for our Let's Talk About. So, all in all, this finale was decent. It wasn't like, oh, you grab your tissues, it's the finale. It wasn't. Oliver's dead. He's technically been dead since part 1 of Crisis. The ending kind of ruined it, to be honest. So we get the thing from last season of Arrow. We see the Monitor take Felicity to where Oliver is. This makes no sense. One, we have not seen the Monitor, our version of the Monitor, since his death in part 3 of Crisis. We've seen a version of the Monitor, a past version. We haven't seen our version of the Monitor since then. For all intents and purposes, we are led to believe he is dead. Otherwise, why didn't he show up to help stop his brother in part 5? It makes no sense. 2, that scene could not happen in the future that we see with Mia. 1, by 2040 that we get, Felicity's already gone. So it makes no sense that, unless, it could take place that, but everything leading up to that scene, the whole entire new future has changed. The entire future has changed. Completely changed. So that scene, in the context that we had from season 7, can't exist. Right? But it's the same scene, they just show it. And then, they could have just cut it off then. Because one thing they could have done is not shown that in season 7. But they had to work with it because of, Emily Bett Ricard's leaving the show. But and I was wrong. I thought she was only be there for one little scene. That scene. But no. She's at the funeral and everything, but okay, so she walks in and it's Oliver's mom, Moira's office from the season 3 flashbacks, which them in themselves don't make any sense to begin with. He's creeping around in Star City. I know in my reaction last night, I thought it was season 5 flashbacks, but no, it's season 3. I forgot that he found a way back in season 3 and then got sent back to Japan. But, yeah. That's where he first saw her. She's like, no, it was down in the IT department. She goes, are you sure? And then you see the flashback where he was creeping around and saw her in the office. So, yeah. And they could have ended it there, too. But they went farther, showing us they're just in the Queen Consolidated building. What's that supposed to mean? I mean, seriously, what is it supposed to mean? I thought this was some afterlife world, right? Why does it just look like Star City? Because it's confusing. I know it's not the same, but I don't know. It's just confusing. Is he Spectre still? Is he not? My thing is he's not Spectre anymore. He's dead. But it's supposed to be a paradise world from what the comics had, and it's just the Queen Consolidated building. So, it's one thing if it was taken to this void. It's just a void. She would have went. She should have just walked in. It's a void where her spirit can be with Oliver. But they have physical forms. What are they going to do for the rest of their lives? There's no one else to interact with. It's going to be fucking boring. What? Well, I know what they could do for the first few days. But, aside from that, what are they supposed to do? See, it doesn't make sense. It only makes sense if she walked into some weird void type thing and it's implied that their spirits are now together. But, while a great ending, it's just confusing. So, all in all, like I said, decent crossover, decent finale. Still thinking about Crisis. Decent finale. And, yeah, I enjoyed it okay. The Diggle thing got me jumping, and I apologize. You didn't see my face, you saw my belly when that happened. Because, when big things happen, in wrestling and stuff, I stand up. So, I stood up, and all you saw was my belly. I apologize for that. But, yeah, so, and that's it. I don't know what we'll be talking. Maybe Green Arrow and the Canaries I'll talk about. But for now, none of the Arrow side of things. So, like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one.